Troops, good morning. We're recharged. It is day 15 of the pod, so a little bit windy. So I'm just up and out. It's just gone 6 o'clock. I snoozed the alarm at 4:30 and I was out of bed at 5. So I was up, a little bit more recharged. 1 cup of coffee, which has obviously kicked in, recharged. I'm just out, a little bit overcast, but the weather is may turn nice. So let's see, don't speak too soon. So day 15 of the pod. Wow, we're in, and that was tough. 36 hours, but we're here, and it's Friday, FRI-YAY, which is great. So we are super pumped today. We've just answered another question, 11 of 12 in the workbook from the course, and we're out walking in my local area, getting a quick 20 minutes in before I get back for breakfast, and then straight back to course for the day. So wow, sleep. I want to talk about quickly so got in last night, did yesterday's episode, sat in the car just over 4 minutes, but quickest one ever so far. So which I normally do these first thing in the morning, but obviously due to my new job change, week 1 in, but on a 2-week course. So yeah, sleep. So the importance of sleep. Sachin Panda, I've mentioned him before, who studied the circadian rhythm, circadian body clock, which is in the roof of your mouth, the master supercharismatic nucleus, which is linked to all the clocks and all the single cells in the body and the organs, and we want them in a rhythmical flow, if you like. They all want to be in sync, hence the word rhythm. Any of them's out of rhythm, then doesn't work so well. So, and also Matt Walker, PhD, who's a Brit, Professor Matt Walker, Why We Sleep, his sleep research. He's on social media, YouTube. Why We Sleep is the book. You might have seen the book. I'll link in the show notes. Is the white covered book, definitely in the UK anyway, where you got the brass doorknob and it's got Why We Sleep. It's a really hard book to read, I found. Really small print. You do start falling asleep because he mentions feel free to chill out and go to sleep, and when you're trying to read that at night, that's what you do. So it's took me a while, over a year, to pick that up a few times to try and get through it, but it's really quite a hard read. But the two findings from that, the two findings from that were just running across the road and I got knocked over, were number 1, people don't take sleep seriously. Okay, we do not take sleep seriously. We think sleeping is cheating. I'll sleep when I'm dead. And believe it or not, this is what I used to say, go around sort of laughing and joking. Yeah, I don't need sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead, etc. It's not good. It's not good at all. And people do die early of premature deaths, at least Alzheimer's, dementias, cardiovascular diseases, you name it, and a host of metabolic disorders that they've categorised, new category, metabolic disorders. It's got all your inflammatory diseases in there. It's got so big, and so we do not take it seriously. We think sleeping in the afternoon is a weakness. We think all sorts, sleeping is a weakness. So it's a mindset, and it's a pre-learned disposition. So that's the first thing. So we do not take it seriously. What does that mean? So we don't prioritize it, okay? And do you, listening to this, prioritize your sleep? Because I do, and how that came about, which I'll tell you in a second. do you take your sleep seriously? Do you prioritize it? You might take it seriously, but you don't prioritize it because it's weakness, or you're too busy, or you got a couple of jobs, and you know, we wait till we drop, literally. Now our body is really good, we just don't listen to it. We are mad. So when our stomach's rumbling, we need to eat. We might be a bit nervous, a bit anxious from the gut. So solar plexus is telling us, listen, you're a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous, or you are hungry, physical hunger. We'll talk about this. That's what I teach on the weight management class. So we don't listen to the body. When we need to go to the toilet, we hold it, we fight through, putting strain on the bladder and the systems. We do not take it seriously. When we're tired, we caffeinate. We put sugar in, caffeination, we over-caffeinate, me included. So, and then we wait till we get ill before we go see the doctor. And the doctor then says you can have heart attack, diabetes, etc, etc, etc. But it's just how we are. We go out drinking. I don't drink no more. It does not serve me anymore, alcohol. It's another episode. And we know we're going out, let's say drinking, and we know we're going to have a hangover, so we're preparing for it, but we don't prepare for it. We prepare for it in our mind, but we don't prepare for it biologically and physically. What do I mean by that is we wait till we get a hangover, and then we start putting paracetamols in to try and cure the hangover. But why don't we start hydrating, start taking some water on, and hydration, sodium, minerals, potassium, before, you know, a day or two before, in preparation of. But we don't, because it's effort, and we just don't do it. So we don't prioritise the sleep, we don't prioritise that. And then the second thing is, because we don't prioritise that, we don't take it seriously enough, because it's a weakness, or we're uneducated, we don't know, hence the sleep science research over the last 20-25 years with Matt Walker, Sachin Panda of the Circadian Code, really recommended. We then have to over-caffeinate, like me and lots of people. When we're fighting for tiredness and we're not prioritised on our sleep, there's multiple benefits of sleep, and we don't prioritise it. So we're all fighting for energy. We're all fighting for energy, and social media, I'm not saying it's negative, technology, and we're all glued to our devices, glued to screens, and you know, we're sort of obsessed and addicted. We feel we have to get back to somebody within a text message, within an email, straight away, immediately. And what this does is it makes us feel empowered, and when we reply to somebody, it makes us feel valued, worthy, and we're thinking, oh, yeah, and we're ticking off that to-do list. But what it's actually doing, it's burning our brains, it's frying our neurons, because we're attention flitting tasks, flicking from phones and devices, and all of a sudden it's depressing the brain, and we don't realise, because we're unconscious of it, when we just go on there for a good intention. Next minute we're off down a rabbit hole, you know, watching Justin Bieber and what he does for his Sunday dinner. You know, that might be good for some of you, but and then next minute you're down another rabbit hole. And we've all been there, and this is the addiction, social dilemma. I'll link this into the show notes. Social Dilemma is a really good Netflix documentary to look at. Okay, Social Dilemma is really worth looking at. Social Dilemma. It put you off. Watch it with your family, and it is quite shocking, the family's behaviour. So for those who've got children, then it's definitely worth watching. Okay, it'll put you off for life. When you use devices in front of children, and why they're wanting one, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, so it's depressing the brain, and we're unconscious, and it's just fueling. So one minute you might have a good intention, you just searching a how-to video on YouTube. Next minute you're off searching, and then all you're seeing is everybody else is in a better situation. They're better looking, they're stronger, they're fitter, they're faster, they've got more money, they've got more success, and it's all an illusion. Not all of it, some of it is true, and people do it for different reasons. You know, for inspiration, motivation, share their journey. You know, they've survived cancer treatment, they've done the first Ironman, they have started a business, they've failed 6 times, and then now they're where they are, etc, etc. So everybody's got their own reasons My reasons for doing all this is just giving back and documenting what I'm doing, and I'm on day 15 today of the podcast. I want to show up for you every day, share some gems, and hopefully you can take one or two things away and help implement in your own lives, and also share that with others as well. So yeah, going back to the depression of the brain with social media and everything, we have not prioritised, so we're losing energy, we're fighting, we're burning more cell battery in our bodies. Like a car, we're burning more fuel, we're constantly on it, bang, 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 it's just draining us. So because we don't take sleep prioritise and take it as important, we don't prioritise, so we can't recharge your batteries. And that's what we need to do with sleep, and that recharges your batteries, just like plugging your smartphone in, smart device, putting more fuel in the tank, on the bike, on the scooter, in the car, on the vehicle, whatever, you need to recharge. And you can recharge your cells overnight by getting some good sleep. Now there's a couple of different parts to it. It's a little bit more complex than just, I'm in bed, I've had 8 hours, 16 hours, that's great. Now you do know, you should feel when you've had a good night's sleep, you pretty much know. Like me, I've only had one or 2 hours extra sleep, so I've only had 5 or 6 hours, but I'm still recharged compared to over the last few days. Just charging, not fully, so I've just put a little bit more battery life in and get me through the next sort of day. So therefore, because we don't prioritise what we do, then we over-caffeinate, sugary drinks, and we're unconscious of it. It's just our routine. And I mentioned on the previous few episodes when I was using a cheap vending machine, I got started on coffee. I don't run it from a vending machine. It became once a month, then it was once a week, and then it was once a day, 5 days a week. Not only was it costing 20 bucks a month on a cheap vending machine on the street corner of the local cooperative shop where we live, I was just in a bad habit straight away, but it was tasting crap, and that's why I went to a coffee subscription of Nootropics, which is £12 a month, and I only drink half a sachet, and it's all got Nootropics, got all ashwagandha, lion's mane, rhodiola, and stuff like that in with the tea. Anyway, so it's an adaptogenic, so it's a coffee with adaptogens in, which adapts, does what it says on the tin, give you clarity, focus, or a Zen-like. One is Zen, one is flow state, and one is, forgot what the other one is. So anyway, see the previous episodes on that. So basically what I'm saying is then we over-caffeinate, so then we start fueling ourselves up with caffeine's not bad, everything's sort of okay in moderation really, but if you're not a coffee drinker or not taking too much caffeine, you become caffeine sensitive, and then we start overriding and burning the system out, which I've done over the last few weeks since I've been in creator mode, trying to launch a school platform, which is an online community school platform, Wellbeing Made Easy. See the notes in the show notes, or see previous episodes, definitely 1 and 2 of this podcast, on the video or on the podcast on Spotify. So we over-caffeinate to get us through the day, and we just keep going, burning out and avoiding sleep, and that's what we're doing. Coffee Nation, and it's just overriding the biology, physiology, the neurochemistry, and we will crash and burn. We do, and we will, and we learn the hard way. Hence I got ill over Christmas, 13 days, I was on my sick bed, worst Christmas ever for me. Couldn't be a husband, couldn't be a father. I had 3 weeks off, and I had got a chest infection. I was man down. I was off track. No matter how good, how strong, how fit, how healthy you think you are, it will get you. So you've just got to listen to your body. I prioritise sleep, and how that came about. I said I'd mention it a little bit earlier. How that came about, we've got a 5-year-old tiny human at home, and I was falling asleep a few years back when she was 2 or 3, and she wanted to play with her little dollies, if you like, and take 2, manage storage system again on the phone. Anyway, so, and I was falling asleep and she wanted to play, and I thought I need to get a grip of myself here. This is not good, as a late stage parent, 43, 44 then, 48 now, as my birthday episode, see that a couple of weeks ago. I thought, I need to get a grip of my sleep. I'm falling asleep, this is not good. So it's sort of frustration and embarrassment really, and all she wanted to do was to play. So then I can't remember exactly what it was. I might have just researched sleep. I came might have got the story slightly wrong, but I ended up watching, I think, Matt Walker and Jay Shetty, Think Like a Monk. And I've talked about this on previous episodes, Think Like a Monk. You'll see it in the references, how I come on to the Think Like a Monk stuff. But so yeah, so watch the Matt Walker, and I'll try and find it, and I will actually. So I'll link Matt Walker, Sachin Panda. I will also add into the show notes. I'll try and dig out the video on YouTube with Jay Shetty and Matt Walker. It's only about an hour's long, but if not, if you can't wait for it, then jump on, check him out. Matt Walker, PhD. He's a Brit living out in the States or Canada, I think, and he's fascinating, really interesting. But yeah, so start to prioritise my sleep, and trying to prioritise my sleep, even though I haven't done over the last few weeks because I've been really under it. And I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and where I'm at now is, yes, I've got more energy even though I'm tired recently, but admittedly it's because of all the intense work, some other stresses going on, change of job, you know, and this course, etc, etc, etc. It's all come at once. And so where I'm at now, I'm in a separate bed, which is great. It's called a sleep divorce. So me and the missus are happy with that. Try it, sleep divorce, separate beds. It's unreal. You've got nobody jumping on you, no one kicking you in the back, no one pulling the covers off, no one scrapping for the pillows, etc, etc. So you haven't got any of that, so it's not disturbing your sleep. I'm in a cool, no heating, dark room. I'm in the front bedroom, which is on sort of a road, so I can hear sort of cats, I can hear foxes, I can hear delivery trucks, I can hear all sorts of stuff going by. So sometimes I put the earplugs in, little soft yellow earplugs you can get from a cheap shop. Put them in. Obviously make sure you don't miss your alarm, unless your body clock's set like mine is to get up at 4 o'clock, half 4. Now I've conditioned myself. Also I've got things like Epsom salt, lavender. You don't smell of lavender, boys, by the way. So Epsom salt, lavender bath salts. Just going to take a quick selfie, just for a thumbnail, and take 3. I had to offload some more apps on the phone. So Epsom bath salts, okay, good night. Hot shower, hot bath, really nice. What else? I've got some magnesium pillow spray, lavender pillow spray. Use that sometimes. I take extra magnesium, 3 and 8, I think it is. There's lots of different types of magnesium. We'll talk about this. You can't be careful. You've got to get your blood panel level done first. You don't want to be overdosing on magnesium. Magnesium is responsible for 200 to 400, maybe 500 processes in the body, and it affects mitochondria. I'll put the teeth back in, which is the cellular energy in the body, which is what we're fighting for. So magnesium is really good for sleep. There's lots of different sleep hacks. So Matt Walker, Sachin Panda is worth researching. And also you've got people like Sean Stevenson, the health show, I think it is, model health show. Sean Stevenson talks a good one. There's lots of different sleep, but the point is, if you can try to prioritise your sleep, you're going to optimise cellular energy. Would you spend 1/3 of our life, 1/3 of our life sleeping, another 1/3 of our life working, and another 1/3 of our life eating, sleeping, and working. We prioritise work, we prioritise eating, but we don't prioritise sleeping. How do you score? What's your score? I'm not perfect, and I'm aware of it, and I do prioritise. There's lots of different ways you can track your sleep. Now here's the thing to finish, is on sleep, do the research, think about it, raise your awareness. get some insights, and you can either just go on natural feeling, natural instinct, which we do need to be attuned more into our own bodies. We're not really attuned, and we don't take a breath, we don't take a moment, we don't reflect, we don't write things down, we don't journal. We'll talk all about this going forward. And you need to make some little adaptations, and you need to track it. So you can either use tracking devices. You've got Whoop bands, you've got Apple devices on your wrist, you've got skull caps. You've got to be careful putting stuff on your skull. These are like sleep scientist research type stuff, and it shows all the electrons and all the neurons. The camera stopped again. Manage storage. I'll upload a few more apps. Hopefully this is the last bit. So yes, so we want to be tracking it really. So you can be having 8 hours sleep. I think you're going to bed at 8. And having 8 hours, and you're only sleeping maybe a few hours within that 8 hours. Okay, falling into deep sleep, alpha, beta, theta, dipping in and out the sleep stages. So you don't know, but obviously we do know how we feel, and if we feel recharged, we feel better, then yeah. But it doesn't not necessarily the case if you're having 7 hours, 7 to 9 hours, depending on what age you are. It's in 3 different types sleep stages. So you've got newborn. Oh, look at that sun! That is beautiful. That is coming out. I don't know where that's coming. The sun's right in my eyes now. It is, the sunrise is coming up. So yeah, you've got children going into teens, and then you've got the adults. And as we get older, we don't have much sleep. But so look at that, feel it. You can track it. You've got an Aura band, Aura ring that I was obsessed for a couple of years before the battery started going. A couple of £100 for a sleep tracking titanium ring, and it just shows you metrics. It's really worth having a look at. Don't get too obsessed with it, because you're chasing the percentages, and it gives you the deep sleep, the quality sleep. And one quick research study, I think it was with the British SAS, and they did a sleep study. Now the British SAS, their culture and what they do, they're either training hard, they're on operations, or they're in the pub, nice and relaxing. Okay, and what they did, they took one of them, and I think they in them with having some beer in them, some alcohol, one night, and then the next day or next week, same sleep duration, and they had about 7-8 hours sleep, they thought, and then with the sleep sensors on their head and the readings and the stats, they had I think it was about an hour and a half out of the 7 or 8 hours quality. So let's go for quality. Let's start educating ourselves and just do some sleep research and prioritise. So I hope that finishes, that helps. I hope this video comes through. I hope this sounds okay. So I'll link to all the details in the show notes. Remember, got to go now. I'll try and get this uploaded in the next hour or two. Today, if not, you're watching it back, then don't forget to subscribe, like, follow. If you're engaging, you're liking, anything you want to share, anything, comments, questions, then add it into the show notes. Don't forget, what's one thing you can take away from today that you can implement in your own life, and more importantly, who is one person you can share this with to affect them, because we know sharing is caring, and when you share it with others, you learn it quicker, they learn it too, and you retain the information. So thanks very much, troops, and I will catch you tomorrow.